Hey, what's going on everyone? Matthew from therighttrader.com back today with another daily crypto update. I will be going over, as per usual, my schedule of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Ripple, Neo, Vertcoin, Monero, Omisego, Lisk, Cardano, and IOTA. All of those in that order in a more detailed technical analysis on TradingView in just a second. Other than that, if you're interested in monthly cryptocurrency buying opportunities, you can check out my premium content. I also recently added something new, which is high return cryptocurrencies for your 2018 portfolio. These are cryptocurrencies that I've never talked about before, and that even includes some hidden gems. So if you're interested in that, I will have a link in the description of this video. If you want to trade altcoins, go check out Binance. They're currently accepting limited registrations, so you'll just have to see if that's currently happening, but link to that in the description as well. Let's get started with the general market update. We can see that there is still a lot of red right now. Ethereum is acting very strong. It was able to break above $1,200. Now it looks like it's going above $1,300. It's really closing that gap between its market cap and that of Bitcoin's. So that's pretty interesting. I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye out on it. We're going to take a look as well on the technical analysis. A lot of volume here today. What's interesting is that Bitcoin is taking a bit of a hit here, back under $15,000. Ripple just dropped below $2, so down about 20% here. I actually called for that drop, right? I made a video on that a couple days ago, got a lot of hate. Turned out to be right, and we see a lot of money that's leaving it. Ripple could definitely be going into Ethereum here. Otherwise, a lot of these bigger cryptos are taking a hit, right? Cardano not doing great here, down about 10%. Otherwise, Neo, this is one that's been acting very strong as well. Pretty similar to Ethereum, was able to break above $100. Now it looks like it's even above $125. Getting close to that $10 million market cap, up 22%. Very strong move here for Neo. RAIBLOCKS gaining some strength again. Just going to go over the chart really quickly, and I guess you could say this is the beginning of the daily updates for RAIBLOCKS. I do plan on adding RAIBLOCKS to the daily crypto updates. The one thing is that it's not on TradingView yet. Once it is on TradingView, I will add RAIBLOCKS to the daily updates, but for the time being, I'll just go over the basic chart here on coinmarketcap.com, and what we can see happening is we broke out of our downtrend now. We're getting this nice and slow rounded bottom where the price is steadily coming back up into that $30 range, and I think we're going to continue to see that happen up until a point, right? And it depends, there's going to have to be some kind of event, but that should happen pretty soon, probably within the next week, either being the Binance listing or just a lot of bullish optimism that comes into play, maybe some good news, and that should really spike the price towards $40 to $50 pretty quickly is what I see happening for RAIBLOCKS, so I'm definitely still bullish on it. Probably one of my favorite cryptos at the moment. Icon doing pretty well, up 14%, and I'm not going to go through the whole list, but as you can see, despite the fact that there's some that are green and some that are doing well, we're still seeing a lot of red right now, and definitely a little bit of a pullback phase for a lot of these cryptos, so nothing really to worry about. It's true that we have been going up nonstop on a lot of these, and it's obviously time eventually to take a breather. Deep Brain Chain, I don't know that much about this crypto. It's one of the hotter cryptos on KuCoin, and it's been doing really well, up 50% here. So that's about it for today's daily update, but we're gonna, for the market update, let's get jumped in. And that's about it for today's daily market update. We're gonna go over to the technical analysis side of things, where we can see that Bitcoin is currently experiencing quite a bit of weakness here, actually. And I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in just a little bit so you get a better idea of what I'm talking about. But what we see happening right now is Bitcoin losing its uptrend line, and we were in this channel for a while, and that didn't really hold that well, unfortunately. Now we're have a really strong downtrend on this middle band, right, at $15,000. That's putting a lot of pressure on the price. We're really seeing it kind of free fall here. Now, of course, we have a lot of support at $13,673. Could definitely expect a bounce there, but now we crossed back below the orange line on the MACD. That is not a good sign. Going back towards our support level at 43 on that RSI and dip negative on the histogram. So the indicators aren't looking great. We have a lot of selling volume, and the price is definitely in free fall mode right now. I'm going to go ahead and put in the short-term downtrend line. This is going to be what we want to break out of to avoid, dropping further, and that could happen when we reach that support level at $13,673. But if we don't see us move at least horizontally through that downtrend line, we're probably going to lose that support level and maybe even move back down towards $11,000, or maybe in between the middle of that range, which is sort of around $12,500. But definitely Bitcoin not looking great here. Let's go over towards the next crypto, which is going to be Ethereum. I'm going to talk a little bit about what's happening because, it's kind of on a bull run right now, to be honest, is the best way to put it. We can see amazing strength just over the previous days. No red candlesticks. and it's been going up very nicely for a while now. So we had an increase, accumulation, another increase, accumulation, and here we're having a very big increase in breakout, right? Broke above $1,000, of course, and has seen a lot of strength since then. We are getting a little bit overextended, I'm not going to lie here. We're all the way up to 86, it looks like, on the RSI. Really took off on the MACD and histogram. A lot of strong buying volume to support the move, so that is a good sign. We're currently trading extremely high up above the upper Bollinger Band, and last time that we did that, we managed to scratch by a couple more days, but we re-entered that Bollinger Band range. That's probably going to have to happen again, especially here, since we've been trading on top of the Bollinger Band for so long. It's only right that sooner rather than later we re-enter that range. With that being said, though, since it is getting a lot of the money right now, and Bitcoin and Ripple are falling, it looks like the money is going into Ethereum at the time being. Could see it maybe make a push towards $1,500, but I don't see it going higher than that, and even that would be, pushing it right now. In the short term, of course, I think that in the long term, and even medium term, it'll reach 1,500. In the short term, and I'm thinking, next week, let's say next week or maybe two, it's going to be a bit hard just because we're already, pretty high here, and could make a spike towards $1,500, but I don't think we'll break above that. I think we'll just test it and then move back lower, which is fine. That's completely fine, but definitely keep an eye out for that. And otherwise, for indications of weakness, we're just going to be looking for, I would say, losing this short-term uptrend line right here. That's really been carrying this move recently, and once we lose that, we can start to see things slow down a little bit. But for now, Ethereum is still looking strong, and despite the fact that it is a bit overextended, still has a lot of strength behind it for the timing. Indicators showing no bearish signals yet. Let's go over towards Litecoin and see how it's been doing. So Litecoin is experiencing some weakness here. It's kind of tracking Bitcoin, especially over the past couple days. So I'm going to put in our short-term downtrend line for Litecoin 2, and we can see, now that I drew that in, we kind of had a bit of a symmetrical triangle formation between the uptrend line over here and our downtrend line, and we broke to the downside of that formation, which is not a good sign, right? That's definitely a bearish signal. Now that that happened, I think that we're going to basically see the downtrend that we had over here continue, right? So we attempted a bounce here, and of course we break out of the short-term downtrend. That'll be a very good sign, but I think we're most likely going to start to see it continue to fall lower, and that would mean, if we lose this $207 support level, I'll go ahead and put that in with a horizontal black line right over here. If we lose that support level, then we're definitely going to continue the downtrend even further down to $161. I have quite a bit of certainty on that this time around. So for now, we're still okay, right? If we bounce off $207, then we might just consolidate a bit in this range. Not looking great here, and we'll definitely have to break out of that downtrend line to avoid further weakness. Indicators now kind of turning back over towards the downside and really failed to cross over. Let's go over towards Ripple now. Now, like I said, Ripple is one of the, I made a video on it just a couple days ago saying that it got an amazing move, and I'm not a Ripple hater. I know that it's a pretty controversial coin. I don't own any Ripple. I just see it as an interesting opportunity, and could definitely be a good opportunity, but in the short term it just got overextended, right, all the way up to $3.53 in too short of a period of time, so it had to pull back, right? And after an increase like that, now we're seeing the pullback is pretty strong, actually. So it's acting just like I expected, coming back towards that $2 mark, even dipped a little bit below that on the current candlestick. Didn't test that middle band yet. That's at $1.81. Could definitely see that happen in the next couple days. It looks like we're coming back on that orange line on the MACD. Could always get a bounce, right? That's always possible, but you have to think to yourself that with the RSI dipping this low, back below 60 now, and it looks like we might have even went negative on that histogram, the indicators are definitely leaning towards saying that we're going to continue to drop a little bit more here. And I need to go and update some trend lines here just to give you an idea of what's been happening. So, a little bit of a symmetrical formation triangle here towards the end here, and we broke towards the downside of that, obviously. Our two next support levels, I would say, we have quite a bit of support at around $1.80, but it's the middle band and then our uptrend line over here, right? Those are going to be the levels that I'm going to be looking towards as we move lower here for Ripple. And once again, if we manage to break out of this downtrend line, the dropping should slow down quite a bit. We'll either see it trend higher along the uptrend line or consolidate. But until that happens, we're probably going to move pretty quickly lower and maybe even hit that $1.50 level, right? That would be a pretty nice level to pull back at, and will definitely clear out a lot of further potential to fall lower. Let's go over towards the next crypto, which is going to be Let's see, I need to pull out my list here. I don't have everything in head. Neo, and it's been doing good. Strong throughout any pullback here recently, and consolidated a little bit. Now getting what looks like to be a breakout here. So I'm going to go ahead and update some trend lines once again. Need to put in this resistance level at around, it depends, you could adjust this, but at around $110, there was some resistance there, and we weren't able to really hold above that. On the current candlestick, we're managing to do so. Even put in a new all-time high of $135.35. I'm going to go ahead and put in a resistance level at the previous all-time high. So we want to make sure that we can hold above that, right? Because we didn't manage to do so just yet on the current candlestick. Could definitely see that happen though in the next couple of days. We're not that overextended. You know, we just broke out of some resistance on the RSI. Same thing, broke out of the downtrend on the histogram here, and kicked back up on the MACD. So actually the indicators are looking very strong here, just recovered from a bit of downtrend, and now I think that we're not even trading that much above the upper Bollinger Band, so we could probably see a one or two more candlesticks, you know, pushing us even higher, maybe even testing that $150 mark, and then coming back a bit lower, right? So definitely think that Neo is strong here, nothing really to complain about. We're going to go over to the next crypto, which is Vertcoin, and I think I'm going to make a separate update video on Vertcoin today. Now, Vertcoin is, unfortunately here, I know there's a lot of Vertcoin fans on this channel, but we're dropped below the downtrend line in our symmetrical triangle formation, and that is not what we wanted to see. We have one final support level at $6.35. If we lose that, we're going to be moving, I think, towards $4.85. There is some resistance in the middle of this range near $5.60, but definitely going to be moving towards those lower ranges here, and have a pretty strong downtrend on this middle band as well. So it's not looking great, to be honest. And the fact that we lost this uptrend line was exactly what we didn't want to see. And we have increasing selling volume, fail any kind of crossover on the indicators. So I would say it's kind of a last-ditch effort to save it would be holding above $6.35 and maybe bouncing, you know, consolidating in this area, but it's going to be hard, right? There's a lot of resistance here, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a drop now. Let's go over towards Monero, see what it's been up to. Has it been recovering or not? And let's take a look. So Monero actually made its way above $4. We can see that it was struggling with that on the previous two candlesticks, so this is a very good sign, especially with the fact that it was struggling to do that just 2 days ago. And now we saw a crossover on the MACD histogram, RSI moving above that 60 line. That was a resistance level. So a lot of good indicators right now. A lot of volume as well on this move higher. I think I called this in the previous daily crypto update, but I think we can see a breakout here from Monero. There's going to be a little bit more pushing that we need to do, right? We need to still get above $4.44. There's a bit of resistance there. Even at $455. What I'm trying to say here is could definitely see a bit of a spike happening back towards the highs near $500 pretty quickly here from Monero. We're going to go over towards the next crypto, which is going to be Omisego, and let's take a look. So Omisego is moving higher here, got a nice bounce. Yesterday it was looking pretty bad, right? It went all the way down to $19.70, but bounced very nicely off that support level and made its way even above the uptrend line, right? We're currently trending above that now. Any kind of technical damage is repaired at this point. Still looking good on the indicators. I think we're going to continue to see it, at least slowly but surely, trend higher up along this uptrend line. Let's go over towards Lisk now, see how it's been doing. And Lisk is moving lower here, unfortunately. We can see that we kind of peaked towards the new all-time highs at $41.39. And now we're really putting a bit of a top, it looks like, with that move. So we're finding support on this primary uptrend line right over here, right? We have our second one a bit lower, which is fine. You know, we have a lot of uptrend support, and we can already see a bounce off this that makes us recover, maybe consolidate a bit before moving higher at around $32. Or we're going to lose this initial uptrend line and move a bit lower, which is fine. You know, we have a lot of support there as well. So I'm not too worried about Lisk either way. I think that this is just a little bit of a breather in the general continuation higher. And I will point out, though, that the indicators aren't looking great, right? We're definitely topping off on the MACD here, rounding back up on the histogram, and lost that 7 line on the RSI. So indicators not looking the best. Let's go over towards Cardano. And Cardano is moving a bit lower here. 5,454 Satoshi level, support level, pretty important support level actually. We've been testing that a couple times. It looks like we might lose it now, right? We have this MACD that's coming back towards that orange line, and I'm laughing because We've already done that a couple times, and it really avoided a strong crossover both times. Basically, we dipped a little bit below the first time around, but it's been acting very nice here on the MACD. Basically, continuous uptrend, as close as you can get to that. And I think that this time around we're going to see it cross over. Same thing on the histogram, and move lower on the RSI, of course. So probably going to lose this 5,454 Satoshi level. Just 2 days ago, it was looking like it was going to hold that. Now it is looking a little bit less likely. There is always the possibility for a bounce, right? Don't get me wrong. We even saw that. It usually holds these support levels pretty well, but just because it's been uptrending for a while, I think we're probably going to need to move a bit lower here, at least towards the middle band, maybe even a more severe drop towards, these lower levels in between 3,200 Satoshis and 3,800 Satoshis, I would say. So definitely keep an eye out for it. If we lose this support level, probably going to be moving lower here. Let's go over towards IOTA. IOTA has been moving lower. We can see that we're now finding support on $3.42. That is the last support level before a drop at least towards $2.80. Basically, once we lose this $3.42 support level, we're going to be moving quite a bit lower here, back towards $2.50. There's not that much support level in this bigger range, as you can see, because we had such a big increase. So we could pretty quickly see it move down to $2, and if things get really bad, even lower than that. For it to move that below $2, though, I would say that things would really have to get very bad, but anything is possible in crypto. We do have increasing selling volume and failed any kind of crossover for the time being on the indicators. With that being said, everyone, this is the end of the daily crypto update. I hope you enjoyed this video. Just to recap, some of the cryptocurrencies are still pulling back and moving a bit lower. Ethereum is getting a lot of the money, and there are a couple outliers, but I would say that Ethereum and its peers like Neo, Icon are all doing pretty well. So interesting developments here in the crypto markets, but I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.